Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another political episode. So we got some news here. Former Kentucky Governor Julian Carroll has died. A Democrat. This would be the second time a governor has died that is from Kentucky. So we're going to honor Julian Carroll, kind of get to know him, how he was like politically. He was only around 92, and that's a very old age. It seems like AP News has released this article 6 hours ago. I just heard about it an hour ago, but yeah, we haven't had politicians die so that lately. But if you're from Kentucky, shout out to Kentucky. We are mourning with you. We are here to honor politicians regardless of their political affiliations, and basically honor the good they did in politics, and what basically the rights they defended and the rights they established. So let's get into this video. So Julian Carroll, Julian Morton Carroll. So he was served as part of the Kentucky Senate representing the 7th District. He is mainly known for being the 54th governor of Kentucky, the Commonwealth of Kentucky. He is the chair, other than the rest, but he was also the 46th governor of Kentucky. And yet alone that, from 1971 to 1974. Kind of getting into some Burton Jones simulations here. But yes, yeah, political career. So let's get into, what about controversies? So allegations by a Spectrum News reported allegations of a male reporter that Carroll had dropped him and propositioned him for, okay, that's bad, sex in 2005. The following day, the Senate Democratic caucus voted to remove Carroll from his position as caucus whip and called on him to resign his seat immediately after hearing an audio recording allegedly containing Carroll's position to the man. On July 27th, Carroll announced that he would not resign. Carroll announced shortly after his 88th birthday that he would not run for re-election in 2020. 2020? I mean, you're 88 and you're still running for re-election. You're almost 90. And he was endorsing State Representative Joe Gravis to succeed him. His term expired December 31st, 2020. Interestingly enough. But I think, yes. Okay. So this is what happened. Now I'm looking here. He served as the governor of Kentucky, but usually when you serve as a governor, you retire. After you serve as a governor, it's either you retire or you continue to climb the ladder of federal office. You probably are aiming for a U.S. senator. That's what most people tend to think at. Instead, this guy decides to go back down the ladder and be in the state Senate. I would say, okay, why don't you be in the United States Senate? I mean, this guy was popular enough to win in a red state. Once again, during this time, Kentucky elected only Democrats for a huge majority of the 20th century. So, yes, it looks like he served in 2 elections, 1971 for lieutenant governor of Kentucky, and in 1975 for the gubernatorial. So going here, it looks like 1971, perfect. We got our atlas. If you ever don't want to find an election result, go to uselectionatlas.org. This will basically show you a very old election map. It will basically show you the election results from long ago and even to the present day. This is a very old website. As you know, this was created probably in the 90s, back when the Republicans used to be blue and Democrats used to be red. So, and they have a hard time coping to the readjustment. So this is the current, this is the said Julian Carroll election, 1971, for gubernatorial candidate, you'll see Carroll managed to defeat his opponent, Jim Host, by around a blowout. He obviously defeated him by a double-digit margin. You'll see he has retained votes along the Ohio Valley. He reaffirmed votes in Jefferson County. Back then, Jefferson County, which consists of Louisville, is dominantly Republican, so it makes sense that Host did pretty well in Jefferson County, which consists of Louisville, Kentucky. So yes, this is mainly Republican counties right here. Yes, Republican 53%. And of course, there was a third party, Robert E. Blair from the American Party, 0.84% of the popular vote going from there. So there's results for individual county. It doesn't really say, but if you want to know county results of this election, you feel free to put your magic arrow and just kind of skid around, and you'll see the election results. So yes, a very good website I recommend. Republicans won Fayette County, and if you guys do not know, Fayette County is the county that holds the capital. Does it hold the capital? No, it's the most Democrat county in Kentucky. It's more Democratic than Jefferson County. But yes, Fayette went Republican back then. Host did very well, obtaining votes in this county, 53%, respectively. So yes, you'll see Jim Carroll did mainly very well along the Ohio Valley. So yes, that's where to find that. Then Lieutenant Governor Carroll throws his bid for the gubernatorial race, and it seems he does do better in this gubernatorial race than his than his lieutenant governor run. You'll see he has obtained he's managed to take this county, that's Crittenden County, which Host had won by 5 points. But we're not going to go through all the counties he flipped. But obviously, he flipped quite a few. He has won by 62% of the popular vote, defeating Bob Gable, who only received 37%. Yes, it looks like Julian Carroll actually succeeded the governorship. But let's learn here. The title doesn't explain how and why. 71. Let's see. Wendell Ford. But for some reason, Ford had to go. It's either he died or he resigned. He died in 2015, age of 90. So that's not the reason, but for some reason, Governor Ford could not continue being governor, and ultimately Julian Carroll ended up taking over. So it looks like here. Yes, and afterward, Carroll, I believe, didn't want to run for another term. Instead, he kind of tossed the coin to John Y. Brown Jr., who ended up winning the governorship by a ridiculous amount, like Kentucky usually does for Democrats. So yes, big win for the Democrats, 62% of the popular vote. But once again, after he strangely decides to become a state senator after he decides not to run for re-election. He strangely decides to become hang on. He can't run for re-election because Kentucky's term limited. And I think, who wouldn't want to run for re-election? But Carroll got a good few years. But yes, Kentucky, just like Virginia, only did one year. One term per governor at the time. Of course, it's not like that right now, but they did one term per governor. So yeah. So yeah, overwhelmingly too. Governor Carroll wasn't really doing good as being the incumbent wise. He's 66.29%. Let's see if there's a primary. There's also primaries, but we can check. Otherwise, I gotta end this video pretty quickly here. Primary, president, senator. Okay, these are Republican primaries. We need Democratic primaries. Yes, we got lieutenant governor, 75%. Okay, 1975. Okay, they don't have. Sadly, they do not have the map for 1971. I don't think they'll add it, but they are doing recent elections. But what do you guys think about Julian Carroll? Rest in peace. And yes, he's our first politician to be honored this month. As we close on to 2023, we will reflect on all the politicians that passed away over this course year. And anyway, I want to thank you all for watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next political.